1/3 of you is your father, and 1/3 of you is not your mother or your father. That's you. Right? The soul, the spirit, the ether, right? The conscious, that's you. Your mother and your father provide the vehicle or the container or the vessel for you to incarnate into, right? And from the time that you're born to the time that you about 3 or 4 years old, when they indoctrinate you into the dark, evil spells of hell that you end up calling grammar shul, right? That's the grimoire of hell. The grimoire means dark evil spells. That's the dark evil spells of hell. You know what I'm saying? That's a dark evil spell of hell. And from the time that you was born to the time that you went to preschool, you was absorbing information. You didn't have to sit in front of a teacher and read and write nothing. You was nobody taught you how to hear. Nobody taught you how to smell. Nobody taught you how to see. Nobody taught you how to taste. Nobody taught you how to talk. Nobody taught you how to walk. You taught yourself that shit. And at the level that you was learning before you got indoctrinated into the grimoires of hell, they stunted your growth so that you would stop operating from you and you start operating from the vehicle, the container, from that aspect of yourself, because they can see that self. They can't see you. They can only see your body. You follow that? Look at the children that ain't never had to go to school. They bright as everything. They didn't get indoctrinated in that. Oh, I homeschool my child. I'll let them watch whatever. You hear me? They don't want y'all to know that because they can't benefit from a child that can think outside the box. I'm going to start me a lemonade stand. And I'm going to save my money. And I'm going to go buy me a bike. So my mommy and daddy don't have to stress about buying me a bike. I'm going to buy my own bike. Imagine if you raise your children that way. Imagine how more along the developmental line of prospering in this reality that they would become. They don't need people thinking like that. They can't benefit from you thinking like that. They need you to go to work at their institutions so that they can become rich and continue to control over you and your children and their children as well. Right? These are things that cannot be glossed over. So once you send your child to the grimoires of hell, they go from being a child and then they get turned into a kid, which is a baby goat, right? Which goes back to Baphomet. You see that? What's another name? Krampus. These are goats. Capricorn. Right? That's when they say Jesus was born. Right? Pan. Pan is a demon that hypnotizes the children. They put Peter in front of that. Peter Pan. Right? Peter Pan. No, Janus is not a goat. Janus is not a goat. Baphomet, Krampus, Capricorn, Peter Pan. Right? Half goat, half human. And when you buy into the indoctrination, right? They put a star on your paper. You turn that star upside down, you will see a pentagram. You hear me? Then they show you Uncle Sam, who is also Sam Hain, aka the devil. And if you look at the depiction of the devil, they show you a man with horns. It's really a goat. Y'all seen that movie Bad Santa? I mean, was it with Jack Black where he plays Satan? It's called Dear Santa. And the boy, he didn't know how to spell. He spelled Satan instead of Santa, and put the what's the name in the mailbox. Y'all remember that? And he came up, he had hooves. The devil had hooves. Did he not? He had horns. He had a goatee, like Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam Hain wants you in his army, according to Revelations chapter 12, verse 7. In the war that broke out in the heavens between the archangel Michael and Satan and his angels. They were warring over the minds of humans. That's what was going on, and it's still going on right now. That shit's still going on. And a lot of y'all unwittingly are in alignment with these with these devils. I'm a beast. I'm a goat. Oh, I can't wait till Christmas time. You don't even know why you celebrate that shit. You just, oh, it's about the children that then got turned into a kid. You don't want the children to go without, do you? You up there advocating that devilishment. Right? That's right, dude. That's right, sis. So you got the holly tree, and they use the holly wood to build their magic wand, and they cast a spell of Pan, right? And leave you holly dazed, right? Leave you holly dazed. Dazed and confused. Dazed and confused. Oh, shit. We about to get evicted. Why? I spent all that money on that PlayStation 5, and I bought that TV from Walmart because it was on sale. That shit ain't about to make you no money. If your child ain't about to participate in a damn in a Fortnite tournament for 50 G's, what the fuck you buying that damn PlayStation 5 and you know that your damn rent due next fucking month? You know that shit due. 2 years ago in Atlanta, all those people. I almost cried seeing that shit. All for Christmas. You going for broke for that shit. You ain't getting nothing for doing that. Nothing. Oh man, my lights turned off. Hey, what happened? Oh shit. It's Christmas time. So, hey man, the kids gotta, man, your kids fucking 18. They don't need no fucking gifts. They need to get a fucking job. Don't call me asking me for some goddamn money because you want to fucking put that dumb shit on. Putting on a onesie and bringing a dead tree into your fucking house and dress it up with lights. They raise up the light bill on your ass. Come on, man. You holidays. Holidays. They done dazed the shit out your ass. Nigga gonna have the nerve to scoff at me the other day. And I just laughed at him. I had my hat on. I had on a new OrgoniteTEK shirt, you know, smelling like frankincense and myrrh. Just walking through the Walmart, getting me some little zoom zooms and wham whams, right? He had his little suit on. He thought he was clean, that little cheap ass suit he had on, gonna scoff at me. And I turned around with a smile and just laughed at the nigga. And the way I laughed at him, it just made him feel bad. It's like, nigga, you a sucker. I just laughed at him. And he could tell by the way I laughed that the joke was on him. It wasn't on me. He don't give a fuck about no damn Easter Sunday. He's resurrected. Ain't shit resurrect on that damn Sunday. The hell out of here with that. I'm not gonna play psychosis with you. You know what I mean? He has risen. Who risen? Jesus. Where did he rise? He rose from the dead. When? You got it on video? Let me see that shit. No. You being black, that's sacrilegious. Well, nigga, you said he risen. Where did he rise? See, people be doing shit and don't even know why they're doing it. They don't even know. And Pastor Pork Chop, you need your ass whooped. This for entertainment purposes only, TikTok. Entertainment purposes only. I'm not threatening anyone. Don't take what I'm saying out of context. Right? But Pastor Pork Chop, Deacon Dementia, Reverend Hot Sauce, Chancellor Chitlin, all of them are Masons. And they all know about Amun Ra or Amun Re. They all know about Offset. They all know about Haru. They know. But they'll come to church on Sunday and tell you to bow your head to Jesus. Not even God, to his son. And they know that shit is stolen and discombobulated. They know it. That's why he's driving in the Bentley and you driving in a Buick. That's why he pay his bills annually and you got to pay your shit monthly. You hear me? How long that's been going on? How many generations we got to still keep going through this crap and not making no definitive connections? You speculating. You speculating, and Jesus ain't showed up for nobody. He ain't showed up. The people that told you that Jesus is real, they ass wasn't even born with an umbilical cord. The Canaanites, the Caucasians, the Caucasoid, many of them were not born with umbilical cords. This is why they're asking you, sisters, after you have your baby, what you gonna do with that placenta? Oh, we're gonna use it for stem cell research if you give it to us. They're gonna take that placenta and try to put that shit in Rebecca or Hannah, because many of them were not born with umbilical cords. They were born just like puppies. You ever seen somebody cut the umbilical cord of a puppy? No, it doesn't happen because they don't have that. The placenta is an extraterrestrial being that a woman, that's an extraterrestrial sexual organ that you generate out of your own consciousness. Right? And that's what makes the woman, that's what puts the woman in the seat as the divine archetype. Is your ability to generate that sexual organ. They don't want y'all to know this shit. They want y'all to be paying attention to what Cardi B doing and what's the Pooh Shiesty and like, man, please. I'm too old for that shit. Somebody asked me the other day, man, what you think about Gucci, man? I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck, nigga. Are you serious? Who cares? Too old, nigga. This not the early 2000s. I was done with Kid and Play. Shouts out to Kid and Play. Y'all remember Word Up magazine? You don't remember Word On magazine and Right On and The Source? That was it for me. After that shit ended, it was like, okay, I'm cool. Let me go ahead and grow up. Let me start having children now. Now watch cartoons with my children. You hear me? All my children, they'll tell you, like, yeah, we had a real fun childhood. We loved our childhood. Because I prepared for that shit and I spent time with my children while they were children. Right? And I cultivated my own inner child during that time with my children. That's what you're supposed to do with your children, is cultivate your own inner child. You will start to identify the deficits of your disconnect from your own inner child once you start having children. And you will start making up for all of the miscues that your parents weren't able to pick up on. And now my children are grown, except for my baby boy. But I don't have to worry about what my daughter doing. She's not pregnant. You can't count on one hand how many dudes that slept with her. Same thing with my son. And they both in college. And they ain't got kids all over the fucking place. Just because some of y'all ghetto ass and did that, that don't mean everybody took that route. See, that's what they perpetuate across their mediums. You hear me? But for the most part, most of us is not like that. That's propaganda. And if you don't got nothing to put your focus and your concentration and your attention on, they gonna feed that shit to your mind, and you're gonna start generating that reality out of your own psychic. Because see, like I said, sisters, y'all got the ability to generate that extraterrestrial sexual organ called your placenta. It wasn't there. When you was doing the hanky-panky with your man, you didn't have a placenta then. That's right. You got to raise your children to be better than you. Instead of buying them all the shit you never had, teach them all the things that you never was taught. You hear me? Teach them all the shit that you was never taught. My son would give me a kiss and hug me and say he loved me. He's 19 years old. And he'd do that in front of his homeboys. He'd let me do that to him. But see, my dad didn't grow up saying, I love you, son. Let me give you a hug. My mama did. My mama showed me how to love. But I didn't receive that from my pops. He didn't know, because his dad didn't do that to him. His mama might have did it to him, but his daddy didn't. And he told me that growing up, right? So I said, when I have children, I'm going to make sure I always tell my boys that I love them. It's easy to do that with the girl for a man, but for the boy, nah, man. I love you, boy. Come here. Give me some of that sugar. Oh, come on, daddy. I'm getting too old for that now. And I tickle them and shit. You know what I mean? And sometimes they're just out of nowhere. Hey, dad, I love you. And we got that love and frequency popping off. I don't have to buy my children in order for them to appease me or to, gain favor. I don't have to do that with my children. Some people, that's all they know how to do is buy their kids shit. That ain't loving them. You gotta love on these motherfuckers. But see, when you haven't birthed your children out of love, it's gonna be hard for you to express love to them. I'm gonna say that one more time. If you have not conceived your children out of love, it's gonna be very difficult for you to show love to them. You're gonna start buying them shit and think that's gonna compensate for your inability to love, to show compassion. My son used to be so happy sometimes. He ain't like that now. But he would be so happy. He'd just be like, I'm just so happy that we all right here right now. Thank you, Anu. That's what he used to always say, because I taught them that, right? Like, Just thank you, Anu. We sit down and bow our heads at the table and pray as a fucking family, like you're supposed to do, man. You hear me? That's what you're supposed to do. When I grew up in the Nation of Islam, we used to have to pray. We had to get up, make fajr, and pray as a family. Christianity doesn't require any of that type of shit from you. I remember because I remember when I became a Christian. So how can people, well, that's the whole thing. They had to be, you had to align with a person. Say like, for instance, me and my mate. Because she not nowhere on none of the shit I'm on, right? But she was in alignment with me as far as our zodiacal lineup. And when we had our children, my son is born. I got a son that was born in the month that my father was born. And my other son has the same alignment as my mother. And our zodiac chart, we line right up across from each other, right? And that was the most applicable candidate for me to have the type of children that I ended up having, right? We got a daughter too, and she is Scorpio, and I'm a Scorpio. So that's what's most essential is the genetic alignment in place. And as I said earlier, too many people are having sex out of season. And they're having it out of season with people that's not in alignment with their celestial chart. So the children that they're producing, they end up being, oh, I took it down now, but they end up on demon time. There's a season for all of these things when it's supposed to happen. She said November 14th. I'm born November 13th, right? But after 2 years of being around me, I didn't tell my mate, hey, you need to do this. I didn't do none of that. She just seen my example. And one day I came home. I was like, oh, what the fuck did happen? She's like, oh, I cut my hair off. I said, why? She's like, I wanted to cut all that perm out my head. All the baby dolls that my daughter was. I didn't tell her to do this now. She took all the little white baby dolls and burnt them. I didn't tell her to do that. You hear me? She started wearing her hair natural. My daughter just had a perm the first time when she had prom. That's about 4 years ago. She went to prom. She said, I think I'm gonna perm my hair. And she hated it. She don't like perming her hair. That was the one and only time she had a perm. So you can't really be expecting the person, they really shouldn't even be on your level. Because then when the conflict does come, because conflict is gonna come, you're gonna feel discouraged with your convictions through that woman or through that man. That's gonna occur. Right? Y'all just have to be compatible. You have to be compatible with your zodiac wheel. That's what's most essential. Because it ain't about your relationship, it's the copulation and what type of child that produces. That's more essential than y'all little relationship. Because most relationships don't last past 5 years as far as being cordial and compatible with somebody. You're going to get sick of a motherfucker after about 5 years. Let's just keep it 10K. Especially, it's going to like, yo, you know what I mean? You're going to have shit you don't like about her. And he going to have shit he don't like about you. That's just the way that it go. But for the sake of love and family, that's why you have a family. People don't advocate for families. There's Sagittarius and Taurus. No, Sagittarius need to be with a Virgo. Taurus need to be with a Scorpio. Libras need to be with Geminis. Leos need to be with Aquarius. See, they line up right across the line. I'm going to just use Leo and Aquarius right quick. Leo and Aquarius, right? They on the same line. So when they come together and have a child, that child will have both of those natures, both of those fixed natures will be fixated in that child. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's about. It's copulation. It ain't about, oh, I'm in love. That's all that Jewish bullshit trying to sell you rings, trying to sell you wedding dresses, trying to get you to rent out the church. It's commerce. They thinking about cash. You thinking about ass. You thinking about how everybody else gonna see you instead of looking at the reality that the horizontal mambo said Capricorn. Capricorn should be in alignment with Pisces, right? In order to have a child that has a compatible nature. This is what I'm basing this off, right? And I know the Zodiac wheel all thrown off and all that shit. Fuck all that. I'm telling you what will produce the best probability of a child. Look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. I'm just using them as an example. I'm not into all of that like that. But Jay-Z is a Sagittarius and Beyonce is a Virgo. That's why he married that girl. Y'all don't know that. But a lot of people that y'all like, damn, why they together? It's because of their signs. And when they come together to reproduce, what type of child will be the byproduct of that connection. That's a whole nother live for a whole nother day. We had to do a whole live on that shit. Right? But that's what you come here to do. And I was talking to my brother yesterday. Shouts out to my brother. I'm going to send this video to you too, bro. Said, what about Leo with another Leo? No, it ain't gonna have the same effect as a Leo and an Aquarius. When a Leo and Aquarius come together, the child that they produce will cancel out the negativity that's in that Leo and the negativity that's in that Aquarius. It automatically get canceled out. Right? Yeah, Capricorns and Scorpios, that can kind of work because of the two natures, right? But you got to realize Capricorns are not fixed, right? They're mutable. So it's going to have a different effect. You're not going to cancel out all the things that need to be canceled out. You need two mutable signs, two cardinal signs need to be together, two fixed signs need to be together in order to cancel out the negativity in their genetics. No, that's two water signs. And one of them is fixed and the other one is not fixed. You know, I had a 7-year reading done on me. This was back in 1998. I did this, right? 1998. I had a 7-year reading done. That lady charged me $200 for that reading. Today, that would be the equivalent of about $600. And people was like, yo, you got a reading like that? I said, yeah, man. I showed her, she said this thick ass book all about me for the next 7 years. My homeboy is like, man, how much you pay for this? I said, $200. He was like, man, I'm not paying that shit. I was like, hey, that's why I tell you, you have to invest. You have to invest in your own spiritual education. Nobody can do it for you. You can't go get a Pell Grant for your spiritual education. That's a self-investment that you had to be willing to take. And that's how I knew the probability of the best outcome of reproducing with someone that I was going to get was with the Taurus. They had to be born on a certain, and they couldn't be born in April. They had to be born in May. Right? It had to be. And it showed me my life biorhythm, my emotions, my intellect, and my physicality. And it said all of that stuff would be peaking at the same time at around the time that I'm 25, which it was. And that's when my father started having children. And that's when my father had me, right? And that's when I met my girl. Now, I had my son at 28. That's when my mama had me. You hear me? And now my children is cool. Now, my son, I used to have a hot temper, right? I've only seen my son, shouts out to Ani Haru. I only seen Ani get mad in my face one time. I've never seen him angry. Another time he got angry, my son triggered him to get angry, and he socked a hole in the TV. But I wasn't here. And he called me. He was like, "Hey, Dad, I got angry today." I said, "What happened?" I heard. He was like, "Ari just kept trolling me. He kept trolling me and kept messing with me, and I lost my cool." He was disappointed in himself. But my son don't get angry. He don't never get angry, ever. That was something that I struggled with. But now I ain't had to struggle with that shit. Or he not gonna struggle with that. And I'm just using that as an example of what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? But you got to think about the child in the ancient Kemet, Egypt, or whatever. That's how they would have their children. It was based on the celestial alignment of the stars. That's how they knew where Jesus was being born. The three wise men, they came down out of Orion and they marked them by a star. You hear me? Said, yeah, that's my girl birthday too, May the 10th. And that's my cousin birthday. May the ancestors be with her. She the one told me, like, "Hey man, this gonna be your girl over here." I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah, that's your girl." I said, "No, my cousin been passed on. But I talk to the spirits, I tell y'all. All right, but that's from my own family, not just some pharaoh spirit I'm not aware of." And she said, "I'm telling you, this is the one." I had about 6 or 7 girls in my rotation when I got my children's mother, right? But my cousin kept coming to me and like, "Yo, this gonna be the girl." So one time I took her out to dinner and I asked her what her birthday was. And she told me her birthday, and that's when I knew. I was like, "Damn, that's my cousin's birthday." I didn't tell her that. So my grandmother subsequently came down from Detroit, may the ancestors be with her. She came down one time and she was like, "I heard you got a new girlfriend." I said, "Yeah, we talking, Grandma. It ain't serious yet now." I mean, she was like, "That's good, baby. Can I meet her?" I said, "Yeah, we'll go on out to lunch." She was like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, come on, we gonna go to lunch." No, Grandma, that shit fucked Grandma up. Like, "Damn, we going to lunch?" I said, "Yeah, come on, let's go." Got her in the car. We drove up to the damn Olive Garden. The second my grandmama seen her, she said she looked just like Tanya. I was like, "Oh shit," my heart started beating real fast because my cousin Tanya been coming to me. May the ancestors be with her. You know, she was like a sister. Tanya kind of came up in our house a little bit, right? It was like, damn. So I've been taking prompting since like a long ass time, you guys. I just didn't have my altar and all that stuff in place, but I'm highly in tune at that level. Thanks to the Magaraj that aligned my soul with the cosmos, but that's a whole nother story in itself as well. Right? So that's where I'm coming from when I'm talking about those things. Right? And for all you young people that's just starting families or you're just starting off on your life as far as living it as an independent of your mother and father, take these things into account if you're seeking to have a family. Because like I tell my children, you shouldn't even be having sex if your intention isn't to have a family, right? Don't be out here just having recreational sex. Don't do that to yourself. You're going to short yourself and your children of having an optimum experience living with you. You know what I mean? But what I was going to say, I got 7 brothers and sisters. Excuse me, 8 brothers and sisters. And out of all of them, only me and one of my other brothers had an actual family. And when I say family, I mean we lived in a house with our children and raised them with our counterpart, with their mothers, right? Now I stayed the whole thing. My brother didn't. He did it to the best of his ability because he had prior children, and he blended them. He blended them in with his ex-wife at the time, or with his ex-wife who was his wife at the time, and he stayed in his children's life for a long ass time, right? They all lived in the same house together, but the rest of my siblings wasn't up to task to do that, and it ain't no shot at none of y'all. But this is why y'all be in conflict with each other all the time. Because at the times that y'all should have been raising a family, y'all was out here drinking. Y'all was out here clubbing. Y'all wasn't willing to sacrifice your good time in order to raise your family. You just wasn't. That's why one of my brothers got got 5 baby mamas. Nigga, that ain't cute. That's not cute. Now, if the shoe was on the other foot and it was a woman, she'd be castigated. Because it's a man, everybody just gloss past it. But I don't. I got that discernment. That's not cool. One of my sisters, she tried to give it a go. But see, they made where these people be messing up. And I'm talking about my own people in my own family now and others. Is y'all make it about you. When you first start having children, it ain't about you no more. Right? It ain't about you. It's about that child. And you got to put your differences to the side. You got to sacrifice your time. And you're going to have to start prioritizing the rearing of that child. Because you had it. You're being very selfish if you don't do that. Now, once that child get about 13 and y'all ain't getting along and that shit ain't working out, then go ahead and sever it. Because once a child turns 13, they not a child no more. They can be held accountable for what they think, say, and do at that age. And they should start expressing some form of independence from that level. They really should. Most of them are coddled until they're 25 and don't even know how to catch a city bus, don't know how to fill out a job application or nothing, just incompetent. And primarily because they've been enabled, right? But take these things, I'm talking to the younger people, take these things into consideration, what I'm telling you. Because it was over for me. I mean, I still went out and did my little thing here and there. But guess what? Family first, my nigga. I took my children to school every damn day. Every day. I be seeing my daughter walk through the house, I start crying. She be like, Daddy, why are you crying? Stop crying. I can't help it. I'm sensitive like that. I take her to work, I'll be crying sometimes. She's like, oh, Lord, you thinking about when I was in the car seat? I said, yeah. Like, damn, your ass just won't get out my car. But I've been there every day. Every day that she got to go to school, I was there to drop her off at school. Every fucking day and pick her up. You hear me? That had a positive impact on her life. Just for me being dedicated, that showed her how to be dedicated and devoted. Just for me doing that. I didn't have to say nothing. I just had to show her. Same thing with my son. He know how to hold himself. Thank you, timekeeper. He know how to hold himself upright because he's seen that with me. Like, man, Daddy be holding himself upright. You see how I conduct myself with my siblings. He see that I'm into Egypt and the Neteru. They all know that. I don't have to force that down their throat. One day my son came up to me and he was like, hey, one day I'm going to be doing what you doing. I just know that it's laying dormant in me right now, but one day I'm going to be doing that too. I didn't tell him to say that. He came to that conclusion on his own. And they watching my video, probably watching this shit right now. You hear me? But that's essential, you guys. You know, stop having sex for you younger people. Stop having sex if your intention ain't to raise a family, stop having sex. If you feel like you got the need, you want to have some sex, go ahead and go find you a streetwalker, right? Go to a brothel or something. But don't go mess up some girl's life because you got a Jones in your bones for her, or because she got a Jones in her bones for you, right? Don't do that to her. I hate to see that done to young women. And young women, y'all need to stop trying to press these young brothers, right? Stop trying to press them. Stop trying to dress. Stop dressing with your cleavage out and all that shit. You know a nigga gonna want to knock you off. You hear me? And after the nigga, after he have his way with you, now he got post-nut clarity and he don't even want to be with your ass. He starts seeing all your inconsistencies. He starts seeing all the things that get on his nerve or that will get on his nerve. He's like, man, I got to find a way to get away from this broad. Like, this nigga stopped fucking with me. He started fucking with this girl. Hey, I'm just giving you some game. I'm here to negate you from having these disappointments with your units of time. Stop thinking that you got the rest of your life to have children. Man, don't do that dumb shit. Because I'm good now. My son, all my children, they're not all grown, but my youngest boy, he's 15. I ain't got to worry about him. I don't. If I want to get up and go to Atlanta tomorrow, I can. And I ain't got to worry about what's going on at home. He's not going to have a whole bunch of people in here and throwing no party and no shit like that. You hear me? But I got that shit out the way early. Niggas like, damn, man, why you don't be coming to kick? I'm like, man, if I can't bring my children up in there, I don't even want to come. I'm good. Wifey used to give me Sundays. Sunday was my day. Hey, go ahead, go to the strip club, go to the bar, go do whatever you want. You got this day right here. You deserve that. She told me that. Because you seen how dedicated and devoted I was to making sure our family unit was tight. So I always got one day to get out and play and do whatever the fuck. Right? But for the most part, I was there to take my children to school and pick them up from school. When I started traveling and going out of town one time, my mother-in-law had to take my son to school, right? And she was like, yo, he be spazzing out in the morning time, like talking about I need to stop at Burger King. I said, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I do take him to Burger King every morning and get him the little French toast sticks. He love them shits. But I would take him there every morning. And one week I had to go fly out of town and handle some business. And she called me like, yo, your son is tripping. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, he said that I didn't stop at Burger King. He won't stop crying. I like, yeah, I forgot to tell you. That's something I do, take him there every day. And then I make him eat it in the car before I take him in to the daycare center. Right? And that's another thing too. You got to pay for that daycare. See, I didn't ask nobody to watch my children. I didn't burden nobody with my children too. You know, even my mother-in-law, I didn't tell her to watch my kids. She wanted to watch my children because she ain't never had grandkids. So these are her first grandchildren. You know how I did the first one. They all want to smother them and all that bullshit, right? My mama, by the time I started having children, my mama already had about 17 grandchildren. So it wasn't a big deal to her. You know what I'm saying? Like I told her, I got 8 brothers and sisters. So they ain't no, by the time I started, and I'm not the oldest, I'm the middle child, right? I'm in between 7 children, between my mother and father. So it wasn't a big deal that I had a child. Not to say that it wasn't a big deal, but like, you know, nigga, I was having children at the rate of one of my nephews. I got a nephew. We got a child that's the same age. You hear me? But that daycare costs money. You got to have that car seat. You got to have a vehicle. You got to have all these things if you're having children. Before you had children. I bought enough diapers to last. My children had so many fucking diapers, I was giving diapers away. They would outgrow the diapers that I bought for them. But once they start turning 13, oh, that's all bets off. Like, yo, get out there, go get you a job, come do your chores, and I'll break you off accordingly. But you on your own now. My oldest two, they took to that very well, and they know how to function in this reality without me. Without saying, Daddy, you got $100? Daddy, can I get this? That they don't got to do that to me. They want to look out for me. Here, Daddy. Thank you for what you did for us. Like, what's this for? Hey, thank you. Don't worry about it, Pops. I got that. You hear me? But you gotta, and I'm talking to y'all young people. Once you start having children, your life not about you no more. It's not. And ladies, and I've said this several times before, stop having children. Stop even having sexual intercourse with people, with men that do not want to be fathers. You know Dante want to clean his rims and clean his pistol and clean off his triple beam or his digi scale. He do not want to raise no baby. You know that. That nigga want to clean off his damn Balenciaga shoes. He want to clean off his rims. He don't want to have a child. And you get mad at him because he don't want to be a father. You get mad at him because he's not like, hey, I didn't even really want a child. I don't even know what to do. And his ass need to stop having sex with a woman that's looking for that type of stuff. You need to stop that. Some of y'all don't like to hear it, but you're going to have to go get you an older man. You want somebody that's ready to have children? He's not in his 20s. I'm just keeping it 10K. Not in case he grew up real fast, like how I did. See, I was ready to settle down by the time I was 25. Like, okay, let me start having some kids. Because I grew up in Detroit. You grew up kind of fast there, right? So by the time I was 25, half of my friends already had children in high school. I mean, in elementary school. They was like, damn, Lee, you finally having a kid, man. God damn, nigga. I was like, motherfucker, I wasn't about to give away my youth like that. So most of my homies was having children in high school and shit like that. I wasn't like that. Like, nah, let me enjoy my life a little bit. Let me find out who I am first. Right? And then I'll start having children. But a lot of my best friends, all of their children, well, I got some friends, their children younger than my children, and some are older. So what about an older woman? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. And the reason why I'm saying that, because you can't have the children. Men want children. Once a brother get about 30, he done got all of that, his testosterone levels start to change. He gonna start thinking about when he not here no more. He gonna want to have a son or a daughter. Thank you, timekeeper. He gonna want that. And that's why I'm saying to the young brothers, don't be messing up these young girls' life because you want to do the oochie coochie with them. Said my aunt had my cousin when she was 58. Yeah, she was lucky. But see, she had him at 58. She old as hell. By the time that nigga, by the time he went to middle school, she's 70 years old. You know what I mean? And it's like she can't get out there and function with that nigga. He want to go here and go there. She old as hell. Like I can't come out that late. Like, nah, man. Auntie wet the bed and shit the pamper. I no offense to her, but she did. She should have had her baby at 28, not 58. That's what she should have had them children. A lot of y'all women like, oh, I got time. Your ass be 40 years old trying to have a baby, 45 years old trying to have a child, and everybody else already done having their children. They ready to go kick it and go to the lounges and go on vacation here and there. Like, how we gonna be gone the whole week? Oh, I gotta get back because Junior gotta go to school. Gotta go to school. You still having kids? Yeah, girl, I started late. Then you isolate yourself. Them same type of people can't come kick it with you no more. But they didn't already have their family. So it don't be a big deal to them. You know. And that's what I was saying about most of my siblings. They be at odds with each other and be fighting and be backbiting with each other. I'm like, damn. Me and my brother, we don't have no conflict with each other because we both have families. I used to go to Detroit and I bring my family with me. And one day I stayed at his house. You know, that's who I go kick it at his house with my family. And our kids be mixing it up in the little pool and shit. We back there drinking the Miller Lite and hitting on the Jilla. You know what I mean? Our wives off in the corner having a Zinfandel and giggling and, hey, we about to go off to the mall. Y'all go ahead. We got the kids. A lot of people didn't want to go through none of that. They was like, ah, shit, man, fuck that, nigga. I got to hit everything that I can. There's too many niggas out here just to be settled down with one. Now your ass old as hell. And don't got no kids. Or no children. Or you'll be an old ass parent. I done seen it. Old ass parent trying to sign your son up or your daughter up for T-ball. Or for Little League Baseball. You old as hell. You can't even get out there and run around with them or none of that shit. I done seen it. I done seen it. I got a son that been playing basketball since the 2nd grade. All right? Thank you, beloved. Has available on the website. All right? Link in the bio. That's neither here nor there. And I like, damn. I like, hey, go ask your grandmother if you could come spend a night. You know, my son, I let his friends spend a night when I asked could his friends come spend a night. They have a little piece of night. I had bought him some video games or whatever. He wanted his friends to come over. I said, no problem. I said, hey, go ask your grandmother if you could, you know, tell your grandmother I want to speak to her after the game and after they do the little thing. They're like, that's not my grandmother. That's my mother. I'm like, damn, that's your mother? I was like, my bad. I thought that was your grandma, right? But she like, I can't sit down. Sometimes she'd go sit in the car. She'd be sitting in the car and shit. I like, damn. Like, what the fuck going on? Like, she don't have, I said, the old girl always go sit outside. What's up with that? And my wife was like, her back hurt. I was like, oh, grandma, her back hurt because, you know, they got them little fucked up bleachers and shit. She like, I can't sit out. I can't sit on that thing. It's like, old ass, try to have a baby and shit and can't even rub shoulders with the other mamas. You too old. You know what I mean? It was one of them, probably was your auntie Golden Bay. I'm just fucking with you. But she was an older lady. You could tell too, like, damn, you know. I thought that was your grandma. That's your mama? I'm like, yo, even the dudes, they be out there shit. We be out there with the children or whatever. Nigga, somebody else gonna have to be the assistant coach this year. I can't take this shit. Like, damn, what's going on, Unc? I was calling this nigga, Unc. Hey man, shit, I sitting in there. I had him when I was 50. I'm 62 right now. I shouldn't be out here doing this. Like, god damn, nigga, you done started having kids that damn late? There go my son right there. He just came in the room. What's up, boy? I see you. Cause see, I could go have a beer with my son. You know what I mean? I could have a beer with him. We could twist one up and laugh. He grown now. But I did that shit young enough to where when he got old enough, you know, we could be compatible on that level when we sit and kick it. But hey, I'm just here to put y'all up on game. That's something that you sign up for at least for 13 years of their life. Like I said, most relationships can only last 5 years. You know what I mean? You get with a person, and as far as all that wedding and marriage, I can hear people in the ethers like, what about marriage? What about wedding? This is the ring. The ring is the vaginal, and the finger is the phallus. I'm going to say that one more time. The ring is the vaginal, and the finger is the phallus. You hear me? And the reason you come together is to have children. I run across people that have been married 5 and 10 years and ain't got no children. Like, damn, y'all still ain't got no children? We haven't found the time to have children. Like, man, please. Y'all bullshit. We married, though. What difference do it make? You ain't got no fucking children. You married to the state. When you go get a marriage, like, you married yourself to the state. Marriage start when you do that. That's marriage. I'm gonna take one more question. I gotta get on off of here. I done been on here too long. One more question. I got work to do. Come join us in San Antonio, July the 25th for the Ancestral Altar Activation Discourse. I'm only doing it once a year. If y'all don't take the discourse then, I'm raising the price up again on my discourse. It's going up. So come join it. Get fast track with the 1089 Tech community and the AAA Academy. You most welcome, beloved. You guys follow my YouTube page. Follow my YouTube page. Follow my backup page at Brother Ray. That is me. That's not some Nigerian scammer. That's me. All right? That's my backup page. I use that for when my TikTok get blocked. But I got to let this phone charge up. We might do a YouTube live later. This is Tahuti Rudy Thoth Days. I've been your beloved brother, Dr. Ray. On behalf of the 1089 Tech community, 1089techvision.com, and the AAA Academy and alumni, may the ancestors be with you. See you guys again soon. Wadu.